Good morning, Crystal from the Rain Dance Ranch. So today I am testing out my supercharger product, which is crushed charcoal, azomite, clay shards, bentonite clay, kelp meal, blood meal, and bat guano, moringa leaves, a pinch of Himalayan sea salt, the pink stuff, some compost tea that's been brewing for a couple weeks with dead aphids in it, and a bunch of leaves and rotting vegetables from the kitchen, and some purslane leaves, and a bunch of elephant food leaves, and random soil from various different old used pots, and also some good soil. I don't recall the name of it exactly, but it's a nice brand of soil that seems really nice, so we'll see how it goes. And the Kellogg's palm and cactus and citrus mix is in there. And then I topped it off with some wood chips, and there's wood chips down at the bottom too, if I remember correctly. Maybe not. Actually, no, there's no wood chips, just on the top, to keep it moist and warm and all that stuff. So I'm gonna let this brew until March or April, and then I'm gonna use this soil and see how stuff grows in it, because this would be a really cool method to make Terra Preta soil in small batches in a container like this. And if you could just leave it in there for 3 months or 4 months and let it do its thing, then you could have some really good soil, and you would be using all of the materials from around your yard, your soils, your old pots that you don't know what the heck is in the soil. Just mix it all in here, essentially. I will have to experiment more with this and see how it goes, and then I will make another batch of this, and I'll get that part on video. But let me show you. Here's some of the products I used. Oh, interestingly, here I did use these wood chips down at the bottom, that's right. But these are wood chips that I have some moringas planted under here, and I'm hoping that they will sprout. And this gets a lot of water. It's sort of like become my hose off area. And I'm like, hey, this actually works pretty good. So I thought I needed some wood chips, and I'm like, here, these are nice and soaked, and those are good for down at the bottom. And I put some of those in that pot anyways. So there was some of these. So this actually, I think I will just use periodically like that in the bottom of pots, or like I'll use this for a month, and then I'll use the chips. Although maybe they're better if they sit longer than a month, I don't know. But you get a lot of that soil underneath that has life. And then the wood chips that I used over there were from the very bottom of my wood chip pile, the area that touched the ground, and that's the best, I'll say. So that's what I picked. Here's a bunch of stuff that I just up-potted, but I'm not really gonna talk too much about that stuff. So nothing looks amazing right now. They all look freshly up-potted, but hey, we'll see what happens. Okay, so here's the stuff I put in. I used the down-to-earth kelp meal, the down-to-earth bat guano, Marie's guanabana leaves, otherwise known as soursop, blood meal, that's Dr. Earth, and the down-to-earth azomite, and there's my Himalayan pink sea salt, and this is the soil I used. I used this soil as well, which I bought at Home Depot, but I don't see it very often at a lot of Home Depots. It's called Sunshine. It says professional growing mix with mycorrhizae, but I don't know if the mycorrhizae is still available because this thing is like a year old. Maybe not quite that old, but it does say it expired on the container. So, and then I've got a bunch of stuff planted in those terracotta pots up there, and I fixed up that table so I could get more plants on it. But anyways, so this is the truth. I potted up a bunch of plants, and then I took a bunch of soil, and then I made biochar. And I don't have my charcoal here, but I put charcoal in there. I put about a quart at least in that particular container. So yeah, hopefully that's going to be good. Then at the end of the season, or when I'm ready to plant, I'll take off all the wood chips off the top. And then I'm going to try to plant right inside that pot and see how things grow in it. So it'll be interesting to see how it turns out. And basically my goal is to have a lot of different soil strategies for people to use that I can share with people, but also using my products that I want to sell. But if they don't get my products, they should get somebody else's products or make their own, and I'm all for it. However they get it, it's good with me. But if they want my product, I can help make it easier for them. Yeah, so I'm really stoked about my little area of up-potted stuff. My nursery area is coming together. I need to take these posts out or move that one in the middle. And my brother has a one of those triangle shade things, or he said he has a couple of them, and I might use these in the roof to put up a shade cloth. Although right now, this time of year, it's definitely, we want sun, and so this is my stuff that needs shade area, this is my stuff that needs sun area. But once summer comes, it will be nice to have a little extra shade over here for sure. Okay, so that's today's update on what's going on at the ranch. Something got done, yay. You know what, let me talk about what I actually put in here. So this is a Stapelia plant, and I have had the hardest time getting this stuff to grow, and I bought this off of somebody off of OfferUp out of her backyard, and there was probably 2/3 of it passed away, which I'm real bummed about, but I separated it. This is sort of like 2 clumps that I put together in here, and then this is just a single guy, so we'll see how that does. But yeah, those seem to like it best when you just like pretend they don't exist. I don't know. But then they kind of start looking like you think they don't exist. But they're alive. But it seems like when I give them attention, they're like, no, we don't like you. Go away. We're gonna die now. Anyways, so I just got a bunch of agave planted up, and these grassy dangly things here are some bulbs that I found on the side of the road with these grassy things coming out of them, and I thought, well, let me plant them and see. And typically with bulbs, you want to leave the foliage on until the foliage dies, because the foliage on the bulb feeds the bulb. So I have no idea what these are, and I need to look further. I just got them and planted them, and I figured I'd figure it out sooner or later, and if they don't work, then no big deal. So there's another pot like back behind there, so I've got a few of those going, and we'll see what happens. This right here is sugarcane, and after I planted them, I looked it up, and the people that were planting them sideways. So I don't know if this is right or wrong. I might take that little one and plant it in another pot sideways. So then I've got my ponytail palm back over there, which I'll probably talk about more later. It was kind of in there leaning, and I straightened it up, and it looks a lot better. So, yeah, things are coming along, and these are all the things that I need to wash out. And this is going to go in now, but I've gotten it on film. And all this needs to get cleaned up, and then I got to do something with all this. But you can only do so much at one time. All right, this is Crystal from the Rain Dance Ranch. It is like the first week of December 2021.